I just got a really nice comment on my AI demoralized by AI video, like a really long comment, and I was gonna just kind of address it here because it's now this is the person describing themselves as a dinosaur. So it's someone who operates in the traditional art realm, which I used to, but I've kind of I think I'm moving a bit more into the digital. The reason, I guess, the reason why I was doing traditional was because exactly of what this person is saying here. So it's Ed2Fun. Now, I don't even know if Ed2Fun will ever see this video response because it sounds like he spends most of his time painting and rarely goes on to computers. And maybe he just stumbled across my video. I don't know if he's a subscriber and will see this response, but I just wanted to say thanks for a great comment. I'm going to just read through here and give my thoughts, but essentially, so what Ed is saying, a month ago, or is that, no, hang on, let me just scroll up a little bit. I tried to just break it up into chapters a little bit, but he said, I'll give you two answers. The first related to AI. I'm old enough to experience the whole implementation of digital artwork replacing traditional artwork, and everything changed from 5 decades ago. And with those changes came some good and also some bad. One fact is traditional art didn't disappear. Actually, a good amount of artists still enjoy creating in traditional media. Somehow digital art gave value to traditional art. Are people that value and want to buy specifically traditional art? But I get what he means here, and I totally agree. I think digital art has given traditional art tons of value because people are on computers, they're looking at all this stuff, and then when they go somewhere and see when they see that kind of physical unique piece, like, you know, because obviously digital art you could just copy it, spread across the internet, and gets a million shares. But like, if you're someone who loves art and you can just go into a shop and you literally know that this is it, this is the one unique piece, like, and I kind of learned this when this hit home with me was one of my mates. He's kind of like a collector, and a good few years ago, just from him talking about it, and he went through a phase of collecting like all the McFarlane toys and stuff like that, like. But then I remember he asked me to do a bit of artwork for him, and I'd done a piece, and like, whatever way he kind of spoke about it and like hung it up in his house, like, it kind of clicked to me. I was like, there are people out there, like, I wouldn't have that big collector mentality, like, but there's a lot of people that are like that, like. So I get what Ed2Fun is saying here, like, traditional art has become more valuable, and I actually think when I do think it's happening. I think AI is going to obliterate, like, no one is going to work in art, like, as in movies, video games, comics, all that stuff. I don't think there's going to be any artists in that anymore. Like, there's just going to be people using AI to do it, like. But I think the artists who really love it will hang on in there, and they'll be doing this traditional stuff like what Ed2Fun is talking about. But anyway, let me go on. So he said, a month ago before Christmas, a local comic store invited me and allowed me to sell my stuff in the store. They gave a space that I shared with other indie comic creators, and I brought copies of my graphic novels. So obviously he used to do graphic novels, and he brought posters, prints, and some other merchandise. But I also brought original art. I put in the frames and signed my original 11 by 17 Strathmore comic book pages, original pencils, inks, and a few colors, traditionally as well. I didn't respect, or I think he meant to say expect, to sell any. I just wanted to put them on display and fill a space, and I put a relatively expensive tag on them. So $1,000 for the pencil page, $1,500 for the inks, and $2,500 for the coloured ones. And I almost got a shock. I didn't sell much copies of my book, but I sold out all the traditional artwork, getting back over 50 grand. Like, that is insane, absolutely insane. And hopefully this is not someone just trolling me here, and it actually is a legitimate story, like. But that's amazing, and I'm actually so happy for you, Ed2Fun, that this happened to you. I'm just gonna go off good faith and assume this is a real story. Okay, it's all content in the end. the so amazing stuff, and there you go. Like the proof is in the pudding. I do think the reason why I'm not sticking with digital or with traditional is because I think I've very little time window to work on art day in, day out, and maybe when I retire I could go back to the traditional stuff, but I've very little time, and I find if I do it digitally I can get together a piece quite quickly, or a piece of like if I go back to doing another graphic novel, I can get the work done quicker. And like for me, I just have a lot of story ideas. For me, I'm less about the finished painting. I kind of want to just tell some stories. I think like I don't want to be all like, oh, I'm a storyteller, but I just have ideas, from being a fan of other sci-fi, fantasy. I just want to get these ideas because they kind of go around in my head all the time. So like I feel like if I can get them on paper, then I'll never think about them again. So anyway, just to finish off Ed's story, he says, the store have asked me to visit them again and to bring more original art. I'm a nobody in comparison with artists that become known working for Marvel and DC. My graphic novels are not a super hit. I earned some money with them, but very far to become rich. What turned people crazy was that I was drawing, inking, painting a page live at the store. Didn't manage to finish it because people wanted to take pictures with me or ask me to sign what they bought, but they really valued to see someone they were certain wasn't AI, but a 100% human intelligence. I am just a grumpy old man that dislikes too much attention, but I worked hard to polish my skills as much as I can over the decades, and many compared me and tell me I draw and paint as Guys. Is that an artist? I don't know who that is. Like I never heard him about before, so he's the same. But when I got back, I googled it and I found this amazing artist, and now I understand why people turn crazy. He's a great digital artist and actually paints similar to him. The difference is that I do it traditionally and not digitally. Hang on, let me see if I can get this artist up. Let me have a look and see if there's any art here. Okay. Yeah, it's like super kind of it's kind of anime style, like amazingly painted. The art of, yeah, it's incredible, incredible. There you go. Like that's the power of digital art, like the shit you can do with it. But obviously there's probably very few painters that could do something like as in traditional painters. So like if Ed is similar to this, like then wow, on traditional, that's a true master there. So where was I? So he's saying the difference is that I do it traditionally, not digitally. They bought my artwork because they saw me doing it live, and I was even answering questions and explaining to young people how to paint. Many of them requesting for classes, how to draw, ink and paint, and I believed Ed believed that traditional art was dead. I can't disclose the money that I was being offered to give the classes, but surely a big amount of money, and I didn't expect people could value as much my artwork. Some people showed to me with their phones AI art that looked like mine. Unfortunately, I can't probe it, but they were amazed to see I can beat AI with traditional art. Of course, it takes hours and days, and AI can take seconds, but none of the people is willing to pay penny for the generated images, but many of them pay over $2,000 or more for one made by me. Yeah, I totally get it. I'm sharing this story not to promote myself, but to ensure you art is not dead. I agree, Ed. It's not dead. Like it's all in the traditional realm, and every artist is going to be pushed out of the digital space. That's what I think anyway. As long as it is humans, art will thrive and survive. Art will live. Don't give up. Just polish your skills and express yourself. Convey your feeling in every single detail, in every single brushstroke. Share your soul. Show others how the world looks like through your eyes. And I'm only getting that recently. I'm only understanding that recently now. I think if you just do what you want to do, that's what's great about comics, is like it's literally coming from one or two people. It's not like a big corporate entity, that has like 50 people that have to kind of approve things and water it down into like something kind of commercial or whatever. Stick to your passion with your love for creation. Live your dreams. When I'm painting, I lose track of time and space. Is it only me, my brush and my canvas? My daughter constantly scolds me for not eating on time or having a regular sleep schedule, but now I am retired and finally have some time on my hands. Brilliant. I'm enjoying it at full, enjoying to do what I love. I'm most in the last stage of my life. I'm a widow. Sorry for your loss, Ed. Then my art is how I managed to escape, how much I miss her. She is in every character, in every smile of my characters. She's hiding in every painting I finish, and looks like others starting to see her, others starting to feel an emotion with my artwork. Then I don't care much about money. I don't have social media. I found it just stupid, and I don't want to become rich or get famous. But the shiny eyes of those youngsters seeing me paint give me a new motivation to keep walking, and I will teach them, not for the money, but because dinosaurs like me are the last holders of the lost knowledge of how to paint light. I ask them the more basic and fundamental questions a beginner artist should know. How do you darken a colour without adding black? Do you know the answer? This is one of the more basic and fundamental knowledge of a painter. Imagine how much lost knowledge an old dinosaur like me holds in my memories. And then he added another final comment saying, the answer is you add blue, and if you want to lighten a colour, you add yellow. If you don't know the answer or need to Google it, maybe you should take my class too. I didn't know the answer to that because, I don't paint traditionally. But do you know what? It makes sense to me, because when I do colours digitally, if you're trying to darken something or put something in shadow, it always looks way better if you make it bluish in colour. Like, so maybe that ties in with what he's saying. Or if you want to brighten stuff, I guess rather than say, if you have a green and you want to make it brighter, you don't make the you don't increase the value of the green, because it kind of looks metalish, like it goes to white. Whereas if you add a warmer version of green, it seems to brighten and have kind of a warmer brightness to it, if that makes sense. But anyway, I'm waffling along here. This is a 12-minute video. You know, the modern generation probably won't get most of my videos. Like, people watch them for 30 for 30 seconds and turn them off. But thanks for that, Ed. And I just done this video to respond to you, to acknowledge that great comment, because I have a tiny channel and no one I've never had a cool kind of response from a stranger like that. So thanks very much, and keep doing the amazing paintings, and I hope your daughter is looking after you there and keeping you in good spirits.